how do you judge a man's worth? Is it in his job, his home, or maybe his clothes? What about his integrity, will, and drive to succeed, his determination, and how hard he fights for the things that he wants most? Growing up in Powell River, Mike Hill came dangerously close to losing all of those things, sinking into a life of drinking and partying until one day he received the push he needed that would help turn his life around.
I actually ended up getting into a bad bar fight, and the police officer that knew me from growing up, just said, you're way too good of a kid. You're angry. I need to get out of this town.
Although he didn't know it at the time, that RCMP officer would end up changing his life forever. After introducing him to a boxing club near the university he was attending, earning a diploma in personal training, the natural athlete would soon find that he needed more of a challenge, which led him to the world of MMA. After a short time training with the club and competing in a few amateur events, his dad suffered a heart attack, and so he returned home, but the drive to compete would remain.
My dad actually let me gut out my basement and bring in some mats and a couple punching bags, and I trained for the same tournament that I went into, the Tiger Bomb, the year before. A guy named Chris Franco came up to me and asked me where I trained and who I trained with, and told me I shouldn't be at these little tournaments and I should be fighting. He was taking some guys down to Seattle to show up for the UFC.
That offer would be the big break Hill was looking for as he jumped on a bus destined for Seattle to try out for the UFC reality show Ultimate Fighter. Although he didn't have the 3 professional fights that competitors needed to enter the auditions, they let the scrappy 22-year-old take part, and after holding his own, he caught the eye of UFC promoter Joe Silva.
He came up to me and he told me, you got conditioning and it looks like you have the concentration, but you just don't have the coaching.
And so, with his new never back down mentality, Hill packed everything he had in a backpack and headed to Kelowna in the hopes of joining Toshido Fighting Arts, a gym that was quickly becoming known for their intense training and talented fighters. Head trainer David Lee was used to seeing wannabe fighters walk through the doors in the hopes of becoming the next big thing. Hill knew he would have to show he had the desire to do whatever it would take to become one of the best.
He put me in the cage with some of the top guys, and man, I came out with 2 bucks. I remember sitting in my anti-sunfire there. I took a picture, and my eyes were just. David just said, I'll see you tomorrow, and I haven't stopped coming back since, man. And it's the best thing that's ever happened is walking through those doors first day.
When you can come in here and go through the training that our team goes through and make it back the next day, I respect that, and so Mike got my respect pretty quick.
After 15 months of training that would test Hill's determination, he finally received the fight he was waiting for in December of last year, and since then he has amassed a 4-0 record with 2 TKOs and 2 unanimous decisions.
The first month came by, the 3rd month came by, the 5th month I thought it was getting tougher and better, and when am I gonna fight? When am I gonna fight? Many times I thought about quitting, man. Just going to some other gym and fighting for some other team. Like that's honest.
Following his success over the past year, Hill is now returning to take on the challenge of Ultimate Fighter auditions. He'll travel to Las Vegas in the hopes of showing off his new technique and earning a spot on the roster for the upcoming season.
I want to represent Canada, I want to represent Kelowna and my team Toshido, and put my name out there, man.
As he continues to travel the road towards greatness, following in the footsteps of former Toshido fighter and now UFC competitor Rory McDonald, the 24-year-old knows exactly what he wants and that he won't give up until he gets there.
When I see something, I have goals, I go chase them. And I'm never going to let someone tell me I'm not going to do something that I want to do.
Reporting for Shaw TV, I'm Brendan Osborne in Kelowna.